So thanks for coming to Comms Thanks for sticking around to the end of the day. So I put this presentation together because this is something that everybody struggles with. And it's funny because I had talked to multiple people about it and I'd answered multiple questions. And somebody's like, you really need to make that a presentation. So I'm like, okay, I did. So a little bit about me. I am a Microsoft RD on Microsoft MCT. That's kind of redundant, isn't it? I'm a Six Sigma black belt. I have been doing this for basically my whole career, so about 25 years I've been in IT, which is, I guess, kind of weird as a woman because, you know, typically women don't stick around this long. But I basically spend all day answering questions about Microsoft products. I own an IT consulting company that's a Microsoft partner, so I spend a lot of time helping people with Teams and Microsoft products across the board. If you guys want to connect with me, there's all my information. Feel free. If you have questions, feel free to email me, message me. I try to answer things as quickly as I can. Sometimes I get a little busy, but for the most part, I'll do what I can to keep up with you guys. I also post, I have blogs and tweets and reposts and all that stuff. So if you want to know about Microsoft stuff, you know, that's where you'll find it. Okay, so I know we're running a few minutes behind, but that's okay. I'll talk fast. So this is kind of the landscape. See, I boiled this down into a really easy to understand equation. This is basically the landscape for task management in M365 right now, right? Basically, we have kind of what's there and what's not there and what is there and what isn't there in Outlook, right, for task management. Did you guys know you could do task management in Outlook? Who knew you could do task management in Outlook? And then we've got this fancy new product called ToDo, which is pretty cool. Anybody use ToDo? Yeah, okay. And then we have this really cool modern thing called Planner. Who uses Planner? Wait, you use stuff all over the place, right? And when you've got stuff in Outlook and stuff in ToDo and stuff in Planner, it kind of makes you look like that, right, at the end of the day. Because you're like, wait, did I get it done or not? Because I'm not sure which list I was on, and did I really need to look at the other list or what? So I kind of boiled this into this little nice equation. It turns into all of us kind of, we feel a little bit like this, right? I get a task here and a task there, a task everywhere, right? It's all over the place. So let's talk a little bit about what the kind of reasons we use these different task management programs are. So ToDo has some really cool things that the other things don't have, right? Which is why we use ToDo. Otherwise, we would just be like, I don't need you anymore. But the cool things about ToDo is my day. I love my day because that way in the morning, if I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pull these in here and I know what I need to get done. And now it's easy for me to prioritize things. One thing that most of them can't do is recurring tasks. If you didn't know, you can do recurring tasks in ToDo, which is really handy. Put it in there, say I want to do it every Tuesday or I want to do it every week. Ta-da, it automatically pops up as another task on your list and you don't even have to forget about it. You can also assign it to other people. So you can assign other people recurring tasks. Really handy in ToDo, okay? You can organize it by list. I'm a task person, I'm a to-do person, I'm a list person. If I can check things off, it makes me happy. So I can have lots and lots of lists in ToDo. The most important thing to me, really, beyond all of this, is that it syncs with my iPhone. So if you look in your reminders, if you have an iPhone, the to-do list actually syncs directly with the iPhone now. And so if you go to your reminders, you can see your to-do things and your reminders on iPhone, and they all kind of come in together, which is very nice and very handy. There's also an app, a to-do app you can have on your phone. You can see a lot of stuff in one place, right? Very well organized, lots of features. And this is not even the beginning of all the features in ToDo. I talked about ToDo completely separately, but I wanted to give you a highlight of why we care about ToDo kind of being its own thing and why we would continue using ToDo. Why don't we just consolidate everything into something like Planner, right? Well, because ToDo's cool and it's got better things than Planner. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Okay, so what about Outlook? I have been talking about Outlook for 15 years. Actually, my most frequently requested presentation until the cloud was Outlook SharePoint integration. I'd presented that session like 200 times. And then all of a sudden it was like poof. So for Outlook task management, this is the way it is, right? It's the way it's always been, kind of was. If you knew you could do task management in Outlook, you kind of used it. If you didn't know it, hey, guess what? Surprise, you can do task management in Outlook. It's a bonus. The big thing with Outlook is that right now the client and the web, they're a little bit different, right? It's when it comes to task management, because in my Outlook client, I can have the old way that I'm used to, and I can see it in all my views, and I can send and assign things out to people. But if I go on the web, what pops up? To do. To do is baked into Outlook now. So it get kind of a little bit of a different experience, but guess what? People are clinging to that Outlook client task management tool because they are used to it, and they are firm in their belief that they want to keep using it. But To-Do is now integrated on the web, and guess what? It's probably coming for your Outlook client soon too. Just saying, get used to it. All right. So what's new? To-Do is now integrated in your Outlook for the web. Another thing that's brand new, well, I mean, it was there and then they took it away and now it's back, so we're going to call it new. You can actually add tasks and put them directly in your calendar. This is one of my favorite features in Outlook, is I used to be able to drag things directly to my calendar. I loved it. And then one day it disappeared. And I was like, oh. And then the other day I was in Outlook and I'm like, oh. And you can now drag it back to your calendar, but you have to use Outlook in the web. Okay, so task management in Outlook is a thing. People use it. They really like it. They've been using it for a long time. Why is it better? Because we're already in Outlook. I don't need to go to another system, right? So people like that. Also, it's got some cool things you can do in it. Like I said, why don't we all just run to Planner? Well, there's things that we can do in here. Okay, Planner. Use Planner? Yes. New, fancy, sleek, modern. Has a brand new icon. It's really important. All right. I mean, Planner's really cool, right? It does have a lot of benefits. It's very, very, very easy to use. It's quick, it's easy, it's managed by groups, so you know who's in it, you know who can see your tasks. It's very easy to add a task to it. You get all this fancy stuff with it, like a status dashboard. I don't get a status dashboard in To-Do. Get a status dashboard in Planner, right? So I like using that. I can sort it, so I can have these views in Planner. I can group it by different things. I can group it by whoever it's assigned to. I can group it by bucket. I can group it by priority. I can group it by due date, right? All these kind of cool views. I can't do that in other programs. To-Do's not going to let me do that. It's like, here's your list. Right? Outlook's like, here's your list. You can kind of do views in Outlook client, but it's going away, so don't get too used to it. But, so we can do all these cool things in Planner. So why don't we use Planner? Oh yeah, because there's all the other stuff we like in To-Do, right? So, okay, well, we're going to use both because they're both kind of nice. And we can use Planner to view it on a calendar. Does it sync to a calendar? No, it does not sync to a calendar. Don't ask me if it syncs to a calendar, because it does not sync to a calendar. It copies to a calendar and it does not copy back. It's coming. It's give it some time. But the most important thing about Planner, what's the most important thing, especially for this conference? You can view it in Teams. It has its own tab, guys. It's special, okay? So Planner has a lot of really neat things, and you can see where it can do some more advanced stuff that some of these other things can't quite do. And it's really funny because I talked to the Planner team a couple of years ago before COVID hit, and I said, hey, I have lots of ideas. They said, that's cute. I said, but can we change some of this stuff? Can it update on the form? Why would you want to do that? Because I've been a project manager for a long time and I want to update it. No. Like, what happens if I want to change it? They're like, use project. Anyways, it is really cool. It's really easy to use. It aligns with your groups. It aligns with your teams. It's got a tab in Teams. So I'm like, all right, fine. We're going to use all of them because they all have benefits, right? So what Microsoft said is, well, gosh, I guess we're going to have to figure out a way to put all this stuff together, because otherwise people are going to be here, right? Can't figure it out where they're supposed to go. Let's make sure they can see all the tasks in one place so that if they need to do something, they can figure it out and go there, which is where Tasks by Planner and To-Do comes in. Now, I'm going to help you guys a little bit with terminology, because you're going to start Googling this after the session. You're going to be like, Sharon, this is super cool. I'm going to go Google this. I'm going to go read about it. And you're going to get really confused, because Task by Planner and To-Do is in two places and it does two different things. You're going to be like, wait, what are you talking about? So Microsoft has a 3-step program for updating Planner to be part of tasks. So first we have Planner. We've got this tab that's called Planner, and everybody's like, this is awesome. So all of you guys, if you go out today and say, I'm going to add a tab called Planner, are you going to find it? No, because it doesn't exist anymore. Now it's called Tasks by Planner and To-Do. That's the tab that will allow you to add your plan to your team directly. Okay, this is where it gets confusing because you're like, wait, I thought it was pulling everything into one place. The Tasks by Planner and To-Do tab is Microsoft's midway of getting you to a tab that's called Tasks. We're just not quite there yet. So when you see the Tasks by Planner and To-Do tab, what you're actually doing is adding a plan for that group, that team, to that team. So when you click on the tab, you click on Tasks by Planner and To-Do, you're actually going to be pulling in. It's going to say, what planner do you want? So you're going to pick a planner plan from your Tasks and To-Do tab. So I'm just warning you now. So if you go Google this and be like, Sharon, this isn't what you said. It just has the same name, but never fear. Eventually it'll change, okay? What I'm talking about today is the actual Tasks by Planner and To-Do, not the tab. It's the app. Randy's laughing. So it's the app. So in Teams, you know how on the left-hand side, it's got the cute little buttons. And then at the bottom, there's this little dot, dot, dot where everything else is because there's not enough room. So if you click on the dot, 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 and you type in tasks, you will find this Tasks by Planner and To-Do. Guess what? That's a different thing. It is an app that will actually show up in Teams where you can see everything together. I'm going to give you a tip today. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you do it, this is going to pop up right here on the left-hand side. And if you right-click, you can now pin that to your taskbar in Teams. I like pinning things because then I have to go look for them again. So type in tasks, click on this, it'll pop up, add it over here to the left bar, right-click on that, and then pin it to your sidebar. And what will end up happening is you'll be able to see everything in one place. All right, as opposed to if you search for tasks in the Add a Tab, this is what that looks like. And that's actually going to pull a planner plan into your team. I'm telling you so you know which one's which and you don't get confused, okay? Go Microsoft. Okay, so why do I want to use this? You say, why? So it's really cool. So now we've got tasks that come in from Outlook, which, by the way, did you know you can add Outlook tasks and OneNote tasks in OneNote now, too? So the little thing that's on the right side, we got more tasks. I didn't talk about that today at all, but if you have an Outlook task, you might see it somewhere else, too. So we've got our Outlook tasks, we've got our to-do tasks, we've got our planner tasks. We might even have like flagged emails, some other stuff that kind of sneaks through, right? So everything in one place. Another cool thing that you don't get really anywhere else is this list view idea. So in Planner, we have some filtered views. We have some group by options, but we don't get as much control over our view. In Outlook Client, you get more control over your view, but that's going away. So we really want a place where we can see everything in one place and we have control over our view. We have much more control over our view, and there are certain things you can do in the view in Tasks by Planner to do that you can't do anywhere else. Things like view by active or completed, which is a really cool feature. All right, you can also filter for things, which is something you can't do in some of the other places. You can search and things like that, but you can actually filter your tasks down by things that are due tomorrow or things that are overdue, things like that. You can still also consume those cool planner resources we talked about before, like boards, charts, and schedule. So all the planner resources come through to the Tasks by Planner and To Do, in addition to all the tasks from everywhere. And what ends up looking like is this. And we're going to see if I can do a live demo on here. I did bring my computer, but we're going to see if I can do a live demo on here. So what ends up happening is you get this really nice view. So this is the app in Microsoft Teams. It goes across everything. This is not limited to one team. It's not limited to one group. It's limited to you, your login. Anything that's been assigned to the login that you're logged into Teams with, all right, for this tenant. So make sure you know what tenant you're in. And whatever tenant you're in for this login, you'll see all the tasks. Notice how we're going to get a little bit of a mix. So this top part looks like to do, right? Pulls that to do stuff in. This bottom part pulls in your plans from Planner, and it groups all of them together in one place. And you can see on here, I can see my task. I can see if there's subtasks and how many of those are done. I can see if there's attachments related to this particular task. If it's categorized, maybe in Planner I've used a categorization label of some sort. You can see the source. So if you look at the source, it actually tells you what the plan is that it comes from. I know it's either like the logo or the letters. And that little gray one is an Outlook one. So you can see that it's a little different. Told you my voice was going out. Okay. On the right, you can see that you've got priorities. So if somebody's marked this task as urgent, then you're going to be able to know that right here. And you can actually filter by priority. If it's got a due date, you can see the due date. So, and all of these are sortable and filterable. So you can see, just click on them like any other view. And if you look up at the top right, you can see you can change your view. So you've got the all active and the filter right there. So as you change the view, you're going to get different options of what you can and can't do. But it kind of pulls everything into one place and makes it really nice and neat. All right, now we're going to see if we can do this demo on a computer that's not mine. One-handed. Feel a little bit like a trick monkey. Hang on. Can I plug my laptop in? Is that possible for the demo?
Have to move all the cables in.
Oh, is it that hard?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
If you guys have thought of questions while they're swapping my computer out, hang on. I'm going to pull it out real quick.
Oh, you got separate HDMI for this?
I brought my big one that has the regular HDMI. I know. It weighs like 1,000 pounds, guys. What questions do you guys have so far? Cool? Make sure I can get on Wi-Fi. What is global? Is it the global or guest? There it is. Make sure I'm on the right tenant. Okay. And then let's see if it's gonna work. Maybe. Uh-oh. Here we go. It says it's connected. Hello. It's only because I'm doing a demo in a different place. Can I help? Do I have to do something special to get on Wi-Fi?
Is it a Wi-Fi issue?
Hmm?
Is it a Wi-Fi thing?
I think so. It says I'm connected. Do I have to do something? Is that the right one?
And security, I suppose.
I don't think it likes me.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay, well, maybe I'll try another one then. Sorry, I thought this would be easier and faster. Ugh. Okay, no, it's not gonna work. It's okay. All right, we're gonna try it on the other one. I lied.
Oh, the accessible ones.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's number. Yeah, sorry.
UK keyboard's different from US keyboard.
It is different.
Very similar.
Like just as checks.
It's really annoying when keyboards, no matter what, default to that. Even though I'm American, I've been living here for 27 years.
You haven't switched over to this, right?
No.
Do it. I've never had so much problems trying to give a demo.
You're not having luck with the passwords today.
I know, they just don't want to type in. Make sure I'm doing the right one.
If you can't log in, I can log you into one of my tenants.
I look one more place. It's the end of the day, so.
Everyone grab another beer.
Everybody grab another beer. Yeah. I know where to look.
Yeah, there's probably got some tasks and some things in there. I mean, Teams is on that laptop if you wanted to just go in there and show it. It's logged in.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
there you
go.
go.
I got it.
You're not going to tick the very useful box.
Well, I went through a bunch of stuff and I always have all these things set up. So I wanted to show you kind of how these come together. So I'll just have my mic, hang on. Otherwise you can't hear me. Okay. Let's try that again. Yay! The magic of technology. With enough clicking, you'll get there, right? Okay, so. So we talked about to-do. And we talked about planners. Let's pull these up real quick. Just want you to see kind of how this works. It's pretty neat. Oops. And we talked about Outlook. I'll pull this open too, just so you can see what it looks like. All right. So it's really cool too to kind of figure out what's going on because you can start seeing people send you different things. So what I'm talking about in OneNote is see this feed. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but it's brand new. This feed option shows you all of your stickies, which I, by the way, love because I'm a big notes person. But you can also see your Outlook tasks show up right here. So it's just like a little bonus thing that I think a lot of people didn't realize happened. But I like it and I use it a lot and I show people it. But you can see in here that I've made some tasks in one of these OneNotes. Because what happens, right? We're in a meeting, we take notes, and we go in here and we click the little to-do box in our OneNote, and we're like, where did that task go? Well, guess what? Sometimes it just slides it right over here into OneNote, and you just didn't even realize it was there because it was hidden. So we've got this over here. Inside of our Outlook, if you go over here, we've got our little see-through to-do option, right? So here we've got our mail and our calendar and our people. But if I go to my tasks, there's no longer a tasks option. There's only to-do. So to-do is our task for Outlook. And if I click on that, it's going to open to-do. It doesn't even go inside of Outlook. It's actually a separate to-do app. All right. So there's our to-do. And we talked about the fact that, you know, in to-do, we can have lists, so we can sort, and we can do, recurring tasks and things like that. In Planner, you can see how we've got all of our different plans and we've got all of our different tasks inside the plan. We've got the different people. We can group it by different things. And this is getting better, right? We've got more things you can do here. We've got some more things you can do here. But I mean, when it really comes down to it, our views are fairly limited. I can see my charts. I can see my schedule in the calendar. I can click on my ... right here. And this is where I was saying I can add it to an Outlook calendar. It does not sync. It copies one way only. I can export it to Excel if I want to. So, I mean, there's some pretty decent things I can start to do in here with a pretty easy task management tool. But when I go into Teams, what's really important is for us to see this all together. So if I click on this Task by Planner and To Do in my apps, now all of a sudden, all of this stuff is going to come in here. So you can see, here's my stuff that's coming in from To Do, and it's going to match up one for one with the lists that I have in To Do. And then in addition, now here's my plans. And I really like this because one of the things people ask me all the time is, can I see all my plans together? Well, you can see it in the Planner Hub. But if I'm in Teams, I don't want to go back and forth to Planner Hub and Teams, right? So inside of Teams, I can go to this Task by Planner and To Do, and I can right here see not all plans, but all plans where I have a task, which matters. Because maybe I'm managing 1,000 plans, but I only have tasks in 3 of them. And I don't want to have to see 1,000 planners. So this shows you the plans that you have a task in that are going to come through here. I can add a new task directly from here, which is another really big bonus for using this, especially for project managers, because they don't have to go back out to somewhere to add it. You can actually add it directly from here. I can click on this. So let's say, for example, I noticed this has some subtasks and I want to be able to go in and look at this. So I can click on it and we'll actually open this task right here just like it would in Planner. And I can see all those same pieces of information that I could have seen in Planner. I can update it right here. I don't have to go to Planner to do that. I don't have to go outside of here. I can see if it's tagged. I can make changes. I can reassign if I need to. In addition, over here on the side, I have more options. Oops. So I can update my progress, my priority, update the due date. I can delete this task. So I can see all that. Remember I told you can see active or completed? This is one of my favorite features inside of Task by Planner and To Do, is if I want to see all my completed tasks, if I want to see all my active tasks, pulls it all right into one place. I can filter it just like I can in Planner. And you can see, like, if I go here, it's going to show me the different things in To Do. But I can actually go down here to the plan itself. Remember I told you you can also see the planner features in here. So if I go down to this plan, now check it out. I can go directly here to see my board and to see my charts and to see my schedule for that plan as well. I don't have to leave and go to Planner to see that. I can see it right here in this application, which I think is really nice just because it's really quick and easy for me to do this right here in Teams. And I can also change, so like maybe on board, see how this dynamically updated? If I go from list to board, it changes the view that I can choose to see. So everything's kind of dynamic in here. It just updates to what you can and cannot do based on the view that you're in. I kind of consider that contextual menus, right? So it changes as you're in the different contexts of different things. It tells you what you can or can't do as opposed to just a billion buttons that you have to figure out on your own. So anyways, that's kind of the long and short of it. You can hide this panel over here. You can also create, this is another feature I do like, you can create a new list or plan right here. And when you do it, it asks you, where do you want to create it? So depending on what you're wanting to do and where you're wanting to do it, it's right there. Fun, right? I like it. I think it's cool. Pulls everything into one place, super easy. All right, what questions? You guys baked up any questions for me? Mm-hmm. Your minds are blown. Yeah?
Oh, one second.
Get the mic, get the mic.
I won't throw it in case you're going to.
Thank you. So what you've just done now, can you do it in the Teams app as well? Because I know you're doing it via the browser. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the same.
Exactly the same. So every feature.
Yeah, so if I go into the Teams app on the client,
yeah,
and I go over here, there's my task by planner and to do. And it's going to look identical. It's all right there. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Okay.
There's just nothing assigned in this particular application. If I signed in, it would look the same as mine. But yes, it's exactly the same in the browser or the client app.
Brilliant. Thank you. Do I have to throw it?
So at the moment, they've got these different apps and they go together really nicely in here. I wonder if, think in the future, you know, I'm thinking like the Office app and mobile, do you think these will become there's one thing that can do everything, rather than having a separate things in one interface? There's actually just one thing.
I mean, I don't know as far as the product groups, there's no long-term roadmap for sunsetting any of the existing apps that I'm aware of, but I do know that on the roadmap, one of the things that they've been working on is consolidating all of the task management tasks into something called tasks. And that's a public roadmap item to pull all of the, essentially if you think of it, it doesn't matter how the task gets into the system, but then at the end of the day, everything's in one place. So if you like To Do, or if you like Planner, or you like Outlook, or you like some other task management system, but you all want to roll it all together, I don't know that there's any plan to get rid of the application separately, but I do know there's an effort to pull it on and streamline it into something called tasks.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. How does task by planner to do? God, that's a mouthful. Like compared to like Trello and other applications?
That's a good question. I mean, I think the difference is you're not comparing apples to apples. You're comparing apples to oranges because it's a little bit different of an application. I would compare Trello to To-Do or to Planner or to one of the task management applications. The task by Planner and To-Do is a consolidation application to say wherever everything is, to pull it into one view, kind of like Teams is not an intranet. Teams is, right? Teams is a browser that you can see everything into. The task by Planner and To Do is not actually creating the tasks. It's just simply viewing the tasks all in one place. So I would definitely compare the other apps to Trello. And I mean, Planner and Trello are very, very similar in nature overall.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm not going to hit you in the head.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right. I think we're about at time now.
Yes.
Tried to talk fast. If you guys have any other questions, let me pull my information back up. I think maybe. Oh, let's see if I can do this all by myself.
If anyone on the call wants to ask a question, just raise your hand and we'll unmute you.
Yeah, if anybody on the call has a question, feel free to let me know.
No raised hands.
No.
So I'm going to post my information's right here on the top. Feel free to check out, like I said, I have an IT consulting business. If you need help with anything, check us out at smarter-consulting.com, or you can email me, or you can follow me on Twitter, or you can link up with me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to help you with whatever you need. Thank you guys, and enjoy the event party.
Thanks to our remote attendees. We'll sign out now. Bye.